Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Automation Station here with the PeakBot team. I am your co-founder and co-host Dylan, joined by Ben and Thomas, and a special guest today, which we'll get into in just a minute. But gentlemen, how are we doing?
Oh, we're doing all right. A lot of action in the market this morning. I hope you guys have been trading well.
Yeah, I've been trading well. And I'm honestly making my picks before this. I couldn't be any happier to trade well in the future either. So I think I'm going to expect another 3 for 3 week next week. But
a little confidence out of young Thomas here.
What?
For reference, Thomas is talking about our PeakBot picks competition, which we will review here today after we bring on our special guest and our newest partner. So hang tight. Yeah, accounts healthy right now. Knock on wood. I said this yesterday. We got some awesome strategies doing their thing right now. King Condor, hard to ignore. We'll probably get into that later today. Position still out of the money for today. I actually haven't looked in a little bit. I think it is.
Yeah.
So a lot going on, but let's get into it. Guys, did we have anything we wanted to knock out before we bring in our special guest today?
No, I'd say, we're going to have Condor trades coming through at 12. We can flash up my screen for that. We've got Trader Trivia, of course, and we've got the Did You Know? So once we get through all of that mumbo jumbo, then we'll hop into what this special guest has to show us. So
perfect. All right. So what would we like to do first then, guys? Do we want to, I know we got less than 3 minutes. Ben, you got Iron Condors active. You're expecting some XSP?
XSP, I got Condors on XSP. I'll add that here. Zoom in a little bit. A lot of action today in my account, as you can see. But I've got the put side open of my Condor for XSP. The call side closed this morning at a 5-cent debit. So now I'm just waiting for this to close at a 5-cent debit, and we'll call that a dub on the day.
Excellent. Okay. Very cool. Thomas, how's the activity in your account? What do you got? What are you trading right now? What are you automating?
Well, right now I'm automating King Condor and both of Max's bots. So 0DT Orb, 0DT SPX. I did forget to turn my toggle on, so I am a part of the people that didn't get trades today, but that's okay. That was a new update. And then 0DT stat unfortunately didn't fill this morning, but solid trade, or 0DT stat testing, we should say.
Testing. Yep.
Yeah, not live. Tested, didn't get filled. That's okay. Orb didn't have on, so right now just King Condor. But those are the 3 bots I'm trading plus trend spread PeakBot picks.
Excellent. Okay, very cool. I am trading King Condor. I was thinking about reactivating the wheel strategy because my Walmart shares have finally recovered. We were nearing and had surpassed my $98 assignment price. However, it's fallen just a little bit. I'm going to hold on the wheel. I want to make sure I'm at least getting those sold at my assigned price. So no wheel for me. I'm trading trend spread and King Condor right now, as well as testing some of Max's strategies, as Thomas had mentioned. And I'll very soon be trading with our newest partner here, which we'll get into. I know we're teasing you, but it's intentional. You got to hang around.
Why don't we just bring him on?
Let's do it. I think it's time, because we could go through PeakBot picks and look at your trades, but it's not as exciting as this. So let's get right into it, guys. We have PeakBot's newest automation partner. Okay, we're happy to introduce the founder of Squeeze Finder, Wes, to the show. Let's get Wes up here. Wes, what's going on, man?
What's up, y'all? Good morning. Good to see you.
Thanks so much for joining us. Love your orange shirt. The PeakBot team here doesn't bring the color as much as we need to, but you are very much on brand, which is excellent.
Absolutely.
Wes, thanks so much for joining us. Of course, we're going to hand the mic over to you in just a second to tell us a little bit more about your business, about Squeeze Finder, and of course, about some new releases coming very soon, as well as the Squeeze Bot, which is now live in beta. So thanks for coming on. Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit? You can share your screen in a minute and we can get into all the good stuff.
Sure. So my name's Wes. I started Squeeze Finder about 3 years ago. I'm kind of an old school retail trader, been trading on and off for probably 20 years, but really got serious about it during COVID, back when, things were shut down, everybody started working from home, and, all of a sudden had the ability to really pay more attention to the markets, especially for things like day trading, etc. And, started finding some social media outlets, Reddit, etc., and got into the whole short squeeze kind of market segment, right? This was a little bit before the GameStop fiasco. So,
Right.
I've been doing it for quite a while. And as I started doing more and more research, kind of found that all the different sources you can go to out there for short interest information and all the data points and things like that, they often were conflicting with one another. So I ended up kind of doing this manual process where I'd have to go to this website and go to that website and, average out kind of some of the information I was finding and blend it together to get, a proper read on what a stock looked like. And it was very tedious, very manual process. So then I sat down and wrote some code and figured, hey, if I can, download all this information and use Python to blend it all together, I can, get closer to the truth for each of these stocks. Because you'll see all these posts on social media about, oh, this thing's gonna squeeze, it's got all this short interest or whatever. And then you go start looking at the data and it's like, well, not really, or this site says yes and this site says kind of no. So that's sort of how Squeeze Finder was born. As soon as I started doing that for myself, I quickly realized, hey, why don't I just build a website, put this kind of out in a format that's easy to understand. And that's kind of the foundation here. So after 3 years, we've grown a lot. We've added a lot of features, really, really narrowed in on our watch list. That's our core product. And I don't think there's been a single short squeeze in the last couple of years that wasn't on our watch list before it happened.
That's awesome. And we've gotten to know, obviously, the watch list and the whole process very, very closely over the past few months. And yeah, it's a very comprehensive data set, a lot of information to help you make trading decisions.
Exactly.
Based on everything that I've seen, I would call this the one-stop shop if you're trying to trade squeezes.
Absolutely. And that's our whole purpose. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
I have to say this too. Congrats on what you've built. We're very glad to be partnered with you, mostly because not only do you have a great strategy and an automatable one, and obviously we've seen that in building over the last few months, but you're doing this for the right reasons, right? You're bridging the gap for the retail trader. You're trying to provide as much data, resources, tools, and now automation to the end retail trader. So love the story, love what you've built, and of course we love the bot. But let's take maybe a deeper dive. And Ben or Thomas, if you guys have questions for Wes or comments along the way, feel free to jump in. But Wes, if you'd like to, I think the people should get kind of an idea.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben?
Whoa, Dylan. First things first. Every guest on the show has to go through Trader Trivia.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. My bad.
All right.
My bad.
Right.
Let's do Trader Trivia quick, and then we'll take a deep dive. So, Ben, I'm putting you in the starting spot. You're up.
All right, here we go. Here is the Trader Trivia question. Normally, we would give out 3 free months of PeakBot, but if you answer this question right and you text the answer to 973-888-1166, we will give you, what's the promo right now, Wes? It's 50% off your first month of SqueezeBot?
Correct. You got it.
We'll send you a coupon code to try out SqueezeBot for 50% off for the first month. That's the current promo that's happening right now. So the question, and Wes, we're going to make you answer this question, so be ready.
I mean, this one's not very hard.
Hey, you don't say that. I struggle with this.
The question here is, which of these companies is known for its ticker symbol being just one letter? Is it A, Coca-Cola, B, Ford, C, Netflix, or D, Amazon? So think about it.
Answer. We want to give the people a little bit of time.
Right.
So we'll give
How
him
long
a
do you
little
want me to
time
wait?
to text it. Well, Ben's going to hit us with a little fun fact here. Sometimes are very good, sometimes are not. But I'm just messing with you, Ben. Let's see what we got here today.
GPT generated fun facts here.
Let's see what we got.
So the fun fact, and maybe this has something to do with the answer, maybe it doesn't, but the fun fact is Ford was the first company to pay workers enough so that they could afford the cars that they built. So back in 1915, Henry Ford made the daily wage $5. And again, his whole goal was to reduce employee turnover. I think a lot of times in business school, where Ford is a case study for many different reasons. But that kind of set the strategy and paved the way for automotive manufacturing in the United States. So they definitely Ford itself helped shape the American economy back in those days. So little fun fact, again, Ford was the first company to pay workers enough so they could afford their cars.
If only they had SqueezeBot back then. That $5 a day starts to become, I don't need to be building cars anymore.
What do you think SqueezeBot would have looked like? So, Wes, I think last week our did you know question was something like, did you know that stocks used to be traded on the sidewalk? So down near Wall Street, you would people would gather under a tree on the sidewalk, and they would just go back and forth. What would Squeeze have looked like back then?
Oh gosh, I mean, it wouldn't have been very possible, right? What was there? There was like the tulip frenzy in the 1800s or whatever. I think that's, and that took weeks or months or whatever. So, really, I think what it is with squeezes is it relies on the speed of information, right? Like pre-internet, I don't think these kind of things were really that possible because you couldn't make enough people aware of the situation fast enough, to get something like that to happen, right?
Yeah. You know what? While we're doing this, and we may revisit this, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to create an illustration of what a short squeeze algorithm or what it would have been prior to algorithms and internet existing. We're going to see what it comes up with. I'm going to picture a very svelte, in shape running type guy who's delivering information pretty
nice.
We'll see what it comes up with. But anyway.
All right.
I can tell you how the data would have looked. It would have been a whole bunch of ticker tapes like stapled together in some crazy pattern.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we did have a comment come in through YouTube. Paul, we see you. We will get to this, and Wes is going to give an overview of everything. But to answer your question quickly, Squeeze is actually our first equities bot.
Yeah.
So we are breaking out of the world of options, and Squeeze is helping us pave the way here. So it is equities. We'll get into that very shortly. But first things first, the answer to this trader trivia question, Wes, is it A, B, C, or D?
It's F for Ford.
Ford. Built Ford tough.
Yeah, my dad's a Ford fan, and I've traded Ford stock many times over the years. So,
funny thing about Ford, it's Ben's go-to test stock. If Ben has to test anything, our automations, he's throwing it on one share of Ford.
It probably has like the lowest beta in the whole market. I mean,
you're up on it, Ben. You're up almost $1. You would have been rich in 19. That's a couple hours worth of work right there.
Look at that.
You're only going to make or lose about $1 when you trade Ford.
I'll tell you what, it's not. I'm up 8% on it, but that's not anywhere near my squeeze gains, which we should get into it. So Wes, why don't we now get into Squeeze Finder? You can give an overview of what Squeeze Finder is, then we could talk about the Squeeze Bot because that's what people want to hear about. So why don't you go ahead, pop your screen up here, and we'll get you started.
Yes, sir. Give me one sec.
Yep.
All right. How's that look?
Beautiful.
So this is just our homepage. We've got some overviews, some screenshots, some previous winners off of some of our alerts, a couple of testimonials, etc. But let me just start by showing you guys kind of our core product, which is our watch list. And we did a revamp last month, and we've kind of pulled a few different lists together into this one layout. So now you can kind of navigate between a couple different options here. We've got a separate watch list for IPOs because the data is a little bit different. We have kind of our streaming, quotes over here. They're delayed a little bit. And then just from this panel, basically, we've got all these different scores for each ticker on the list. But our main metric here is squeezability. And that's the average of all these other individual scores. They have some different weights, different ranges for how high and low they can go. We got some scores that go negative, kind of act like a warning. But basically this list is by default sorted by squeezability. So this, entire system that we've designed, we're basically saying these are the top, 75 tickers in the whole market when you factor in all of this data. And we bring all this in from about 5 different sources, websites, APIs, etc. Blend it all together. There's some sources that have half of this and some that have the other half, and so we have to kind of compile and bring a lot of things together. We do a big update every morning, and then we do smaller updates throughout the day because a lot of this information is changing, every 15 to 20 minutes. Yep. So we want to kind of reflect that. We've got, handy little link for charts, that kind of stuff.
We love TradingView. That's a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. We've got this little pop-out panel so you can, take a closer look at whichever ticker on the list. So this is kind of our core product. From there, we offer some alerts that's built on Thinkorswim. They just blast out as like an email when we start to see a volume surge or, something else happening. We've got a Discord server where, our members can join and chat, bounce ideas off of each other, etc. So, yeah, that's probably the gist of it. Let me navigate over now to our SqueezeBot page. So basically, as Ben alluded to, this is going to be PeakBot's first equities only trading bot. And the reason for that is most of these short squeeze stocks are actually like small and mid cap stocks, and a lot of them don't carry options at all. So if we wanted to try an options only strategy, we'd have to ignore probably 80% of the short squeezes that actually happen in the market. So we definitely wanted to focus more on equities with this bot. And essentially what we do is we feed our watch list into the PeakBot platform. And then we work together to develop an algorithmic strategy for, triggering, which is very similar to our alert service that we run, because we've been running that alert service for a couple of years, and we've got a proven track record that, when these alerts fire off, it's often the beginning or sometimes the middle of a squeeze that's happening. Excuse me. So we kind of started with that logic. We expanded on it. We brought in, some other expertise and we really hammered that out. So essentially what the bot's doing is watching all the stocks from the watch list. And then when those criteria get met, we get an entry trigger and we set a limit, buy order. We kind of want a little bit of a dip after that first alert. We don't want to pay too much for our position. So we wait for a small pullback, and then we hop in and we ride the wave and see where it goes.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I've been using this for a while now, but we've refined it over the past couple of weeks, and since we pushed it out to the live beta version this week, it's been great. We had 2 tickers that ripped over 30%, right?
Yes.
What were they here? I've got
them pulled up somewhere.
One of them was EVgo, right?
Yes, that's right. And then the other one was QBTS. I'm going to switch to my screen for a second. just because I posted
go ahead.
this. I posted this in Squeeze Finder's Discord. This was my account 2 days ago. Here's my QBTS position. Before I took profit, I was up 35.6%. And you can see all these other positions, 6%, 5.7%. IWM's a different bot. And then I closed out of all of these previously. And then MBot was the only position that was down. So you could, I mean, my portfolio is rocking. And I think today it's looking pretty good as well. I'll have to check after the show because it's on a broker that we will not name on this show. But you could automate this on Tradier for sure. We actually are integrated with Schwab, Tradier, and Tasty Trade. I know I just said the words, but
don't forgive us.
Yes. But I mean, this was my account. This was an actual gain that I made, and I choose. And there's two ways that you can choose to use this bot. Wes, do you want to go into more detail into the two different routes that somebody can go down when using this bot?
For sure. So basically, when you log into your bot, the first part of the process after you've integrated your broker, obviously, is to come into this watch list here, set the budget amount that you'd like to trade. And then we've got those quick buttons where you can just select the top 25, top 50, top 100, or you can scroll down a bit to, the full watch list and come in here and individually choose whatever tickers you like. If there's just a handful that you want, if you want to focus on 2 or 3 stocks. So that's a big part of the flexibility. The user gets to decide exactly what they want to trade and exactly how heavy they'd like to trade it. So basically, once it's time, to get into a position, the bot's going to make that buy order for you. That's never up to the user. The bot is always going to control entry side of the trade. But once you're in a position, I think what Ben was getting to is you can definitely always just do the smart exit, which other PeakBot users are probably familiar with that term. Which is basically a manual, sell. You can come in here, set this to smart exit, and then go into your brokerage and sell that position. If you're up 5 or 10% and it seems like it's stalled out, or let's say the market starts to turn down like it is right now, you might be a little bit more cautious, etc. So my best advice for users out there is that this is a bullish only strategy, right? Short squeezes require buying pressure in order to get them to really lift off. And over the years, since I started this whole project, basically our returns and our results are very in line with the overall broader market performance. So when the market's in a downtrend, like it was a couple of months ago, I mean, we always preach caution, reduce your trade sizes, reduce the number of tickers you're going to select, etc. But then when the market's in an uptrend, like it has been the last few weeks, we can get some really amazing plays. So, that would be the time when the market's in an uptrend to just let these things run. Don't do that smart exit. We have a 10% trailing stop that's going to protect, from any big losses. So if the market's in an uptrend, the market's making new highs, etc., things are looking bullish. Let some of these plays run because we fully expect to get some 100% plus trades out of the spot at some point, during the year. So I think our record so far is around 70%. I don't remember the ticker, but when we were doing some beta testing a couple of months ago, we had this thing running for probably about a month. Yep. And we did catch a couple of pretty big ones.
Hertz did well. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Hertz may have been that 70%er.
Yeah. So real quick, in the spirit of what you just said, beta, right? I'm gonna go ahead and confirm the activation for all of these tickers that I just added. And then you might have noticed on my home screen, this curve doesn't really match everything I was just saying. Well, the curve is not fully done yet. The functionality of the bot is done. The curve is not done. So this would definitely be up and to the right with the correct data. I just realized that because I've kind of become blind to it just because I know it's not ready yet and I have not looked at it. But the functionality for the bot is all there. So the bot for me is currently looking at 100+ tickers at the moment, just waiting for the right time to get in. And then when it does get in, as we mentioned, there's these 2 management styles, management strategies, right? You can go full squeeze, and that's, let the bot do its thing, wait for a stock to rip up and have that protection from the 10% trailing loss. And then there's the tactical strategy, which that's the bucket that I personally fall into, where I'm going to check my account whenever I normally would check my account. So usually like in the morning, and then around lunchtime, and then maybe after the bell, or if it's I'll go in and check my positions. If I see a good gain, a decent gain in my account, maybe I'll look at the chart real quick and see if it looks like there's any juice left in this thing. But most of the time, I'm just taking my money and running. I just want to get that. I want to get that win. And if I do see a stock squeezing, like I saw, what was it again? A qubits. QBTS, yeah. QBTS.
Wes is all over it.
It was moving, so I let it move.
That was a hot sector yesterday. The quantum computing sector kind of exploded yesterday.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I love that it scans the watch list. You as the user still need to go in, as you saw. If a new ticker enters the watch list, you need to go in and approve that to be automated and have it in that waiting sequence. So as you can tell, and Ben has the Discord up here. He's been sending his personal results in there on the Squeeze bot. So by the way, don't need to interrupt now. I did get a GPT generated image of what Squeeze Finder would have looked like in the early 90s.
All right, let's see
it.
So this is what we've got.
What did I say about the ticker tape?
Yeah, man. So
that's awesome.
Tone in the streets outside of Wall Street. The first image was pretty good, but he was like still. And I was like, I need this guy running to be, delivering information here.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, we got a left hand on a right arm back here, very GPT-like. But anyway, these people are kind of scary back here, to be honest with you. This guy is handsome. Wes, that might even be you back in the day.
Could be. I could rock a bowler hat.
Very dapper.
There you go.
Anyway. If anybody was curious what might have been looking like over 100 years ago, I think this is what we're getting at for that short squeeze. Anyway, we're having just a little bit of fun. So, yeah, and Ben mentioned the 2 different ways, whether you're going full send on the squeeze or if you're being more tactical about it. It's up to you. It's your risk tolerance. Look, if this is what I like to call Vegas money and a smart percentage of your portfolio, and you're going for the upside, have confidence to know that the bot's going to find the squeeze opportunity, going to get you in and get you out. Manage your stop losses, take profits, trailing stops, all of the good stuff. But to Ben's point, like if you're a bit more conservative or you want your cash to be, not locked up in some of these positions for as long, waiting for this potential squeeze, there are people who are going to be thrilled with that 5% ROI, 10%, 12% ROI.
Yeah. The nature of the volatility on these plays means just about every position the bot trades is going to give you some potential profit, right? It might be up 2, 3, 4, 5%, and then it might tank. But yes, if you want to be conservative, you're probably going to be able to get that 2, 3% trade on just about every single one.
Man and machine. Yep.
I love it.
I have more of an approach like you just alluded to. I take a responsible amount of money and I have it in a completely separate brokerage account. I call it my squeeze account.
Yep.
And that's the one that I share with my members and we fire all the alerts and all that stuff off of. So, I've had some really amazing wins over the years where, we're talking you quadruple the size of your port in a day or a week or whatever.
That's crazy.
And then I'll take most of that money off the table and go put it back in my retirement account, which is a little bit safer.
The smart thing to do.
That's the goal. There's a cycle to it all.
Yeah, these are incredibly, high beta, high risk plays. So my personal methodology is I do the very risky stuff with a very small amount of money.
Yep.
And, the word small amount of money means something different to everybody, right? I've got friends who, a 500K trade for them is a small amount of money.
I need those friends.
Yeah, we all do.
I think, PeakBot puts out a model portfolio every quarter, and how we would go about automating our own portfolios based on the strategies that we have and our partner strategies. I'm very bullish on the fact that this is going to be, working its way into the model portfolio for Q3. For me, I might be, on a 1%, 2%, 3% on my portfolio, where others may see it differently. See you later, Thomas. You didn't like that. But that is back. So I just wanted to mention that this is very quickly going to become a staple for the PeakBot team, as well as a lot of our PeakBot users as well. And results will flood. It will bring everybody, right? So
for sure,
we're seeing that happen. This is the fun stuff. This is the gambling side of the portfolio, and the fact that we can take the emotions out of it. Not only are we taking the emotions out of it, we're taking a majority of the data and research out of it as well. Now, the man and machine part of this is you got to feel good about what you're doing. You have to have a sense of what you're trading. You should take advantage of the Squeeze Finder site and look at the charts on TradingView and look at all the data available. If you feel good about it, on top of knowing that the bot can manage this for you, recipe for success, and you won't need to come in here and get all overly emotional and try to make a decision and shoot yourself in the foot. So, we could say it a million different ways. We are absolutely pumped about this partnership, and as should be any retail trader who's paying close attention to what we've got going on over here. Fellas, what else? Let's mention what's down below. If you want to get started, okay, utilizing the Squeeze bot, utilizing Squeeze Finder's watch list and full set of data, go to squeezefinder.peakbot.com/sign up, and that'll get you in and started. Promotion, is it 50% off for the first month?
Yes.
And then maybe even we'll work on this. Don't quote me on this. Maybe a discounted rate for those who get in early enough, recurring. So squeezefinder.peakbot.com. Check it out. Wes, what else do you got for the people here, if anything? And then we'll go to Ben and Thomas.
Yeah, maybe just one final comment that this is still brand new. So I would say this is our version 1 of the bot.
Yep.
Or maybe even version 0.5, because we're technically still in beta. But as the months and years go by, I could see us adding a lot more features to this thing, a lot more customizability, bringing in other data sets. My team is working on some cool stuff with AI right now. We're actually going to be building a new, it's built, we're working on the front end, a new AI powered and derived watch list that's more predictive. So we're trying to look at patterns in the data and the way things are changing and find, squeezes a few days or even a week ahead of time.
Yeah.
So, we could have a slightly different variation of the bot that gets into those tickers and, maybe sits on them for a week or whatever. So there's going to be more that we build onto this as the months go by. That's kind of final thought.
So you gotta get started now, get your rate locked in, because as more features get added, the price is only going to go up. And like I said, I've been seeing a lot of success using this bot over the past couple of weeks personally, and we're at a point now to where we can start bringing people on, and it's only a matter of time until everybody's on Squeeze, because it's the only equities bot that you can automate with PeakBot.
Yep. Well, awesome. Wes, you and your entire team over at Squeeze have been a pleasure to work with. And, this is not an easy task we've put ourselves up to here, right? We've taken our time here. We wanted to get this right, and we'll continue to see improvements on this as we go. But again, if you're a retail trader out there and you've had any interest in short squeezing and you're not a true scholar in it, or don't have the time or the emotional capacity to handle that, there's never been a better opportunity to get in and get involved and automated with the Squeeze bot here. So again, squeezefinder.peakbot.com/sign up, get your promotion code. Do we need to send anybody anything? Do we want to provide a code, or is that baked in, Ben?
The code is paid beta. Let me get that
All
up on the
caps.
screen. All caps.
We'll get that on the screen, and then we should be good there. All right, sorry, Ben, go ahead. Perfect. Use code PAYBETA, all caps, at squeezefinder.peakbot.com/sign up, and you will get 50% off your first month. Wes, thank you so much for coming on the show. This won't be the last time that you join us. Hopefully for the next appearance, we are celebrating over 100% gainer. And,
Yes.
And maybe we can take a deeper dive then. But thank you for joining us. We're pumped about this partnership, pumped about the bot. And if anybody has any questions, both our team and the Squeeze Finder team are available to help you out and get started. So, guys, unless you have anything else for Wes, I think we can give him some of his Friday back and keep it moving.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thanks
so
a lot.
much,
Have a
Wes.
good one.
See you, man. Awesome, guys. So thank you again to Wes and the Squeeze Finder team. We're pumped about this new partnership. I've said it 10 times now, but that's only because it's true. All right, guys. Back to regularly scheduled programming.
We're gonna have to fly through these PeakBot picks.
Yeah.
Gonna fly.
I don't think we're giving any spy analysis today.
What's your spy analysis? Go ahead.
Bearish. Basically the same thing as last week. Like a squeeze. There's not enough juice left to get out of it. Right? I think that we're pretty bearish.
I think we're topping out here. I mean, you could kind of see, and I'm not.
It's so yeah.
I'm not one to always draw lines, but you could kind of see like a head and shoulders potentially forming, which in this case, this would be a bear or bullish signal. So I don't know. I'm also looking at this level right here as resistance. If we do break above that, then yes, I'll be very bullish. But I think we're kind of sputtering out a little bit, not really getting the momentum we need. But time will tell.
All right.
No,
Who wants to nail the picks? I can start.
Are we going over last week's picks too?
Yeah, we should quickly.
Very quick. Let's not bring up charts or anything. Let's just go over what they were, how they did.
So right now for last week, I had 2 call spreads and a put spread. Looks like I'm going 2 for 3. I was bearish on NEE, Next Era Energy. I was trying to stay under $69 strike price for $18 in premium. Just closed at pretty close to my max loss over there. It jumped all of a sudden today. It's over $70 right now. So I'll take an L on that, probably about almost $100, a little over that. I'm going to win my call credit spread on Chipotle, ticker CMG, collected $16 in premium on a $1 spread there. I have a debit order out for like 2 cents right now that may have even filled. And then I'm going to win on, I already won my Coca-Cola position, put credit spread, trying to stay above $70 a share. That closed out for me already with, I believe, a 2-cent debit. So earned $14 on that trade. It's going to be a net red week for me based on my loss on my NEE call credit spread. Lost about $100 there. So net loss for me last week on the PeakBot picks. Very big week for the portfolio though. Why? King Condor just keeps crushing it, and my Walmart shares are back. So I've made in the last 3 weeks, let's see. I've made about $2,000 over the last 3 weeks. My account was down at about 12.2. Now it's around 14.6. So actually even more than that. Pumped. But I suck at PeakBot picks lately. I got one bad one that kills me every week. Who's up?
I'm 3 for 3 this week, and then 3 for 3 the last 3 weeks.
Whoa!
Which I'm on a three streaker. I'm on a keto right now. So I actually got saved on one of my picks. So
And this is last week, expiring today, or what?
Yes, last week expiring today. So on Morgan Stanley right now would have been in the money. Closed out of it on Tuesday for 70% profit. Got out of it, and now I took a winner on what would have been a loser, which is really, really good. And then Johnson & Johnson won. IWM wasn't able to take profit. The market was kind of creeping up slowly the whole week, which kind of kept my premium at about a flat rate. Right there, yeah, you can see. So still open, but set to expire worthless today. So that's pretty nice. I'm not even going to let the bot manage out of it. I'm just simply going to let it. Actually, I am going to let the bot manage out of it. That's right. It's probably already done, actually. Anyway, what do you call it? Yeah, so I'm trading it again next week, which, while we're here, I can just go over next week's picks if you want to.
Yeah, do it. By the way, I just wanted to take a look at something here. You have done nothing but bearish call spreads since the beginning of April. Pretty much. Yep. And
not
profitable. Very profitable for you. So, I mean, since you've been starting the call train, you're up $510. I'm doing this quickly. I want to know your overall gain loss on PeakBot Picks. You're up $530 on the new PeakBot Picks format. Nicely done, Thomas.
Good job, Thomas. Good job.
Thank you.
That's not including what you can do this week. Tell us about it. What are your plays this week?
Again, honestly, I really want to show the chart because the charts are beautiful.
Well, we can show charts for PeakBot Picks for this week.
All right, we'll show charts for PeakBot Picks this week. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen because when I was looking at these charts, gorgeous. Absolutely just gorgeous picks.
I think Thomas is in love.
Well, I'll say this. If Thomas does what he did for another 6 weeks, we're building a copy trading Thomas bot. And I'm in. All right, Thomas, you ready for your
my screen up there? All right. First, again, we're back on IWM. Last week, 204. This week, 206. Just like obvious consolidation at the 206 range. It's kind of found resistance there, kind of consolidated right at this price point in the past. And right now, my outlook is, what was that?
Get rid of that crypto ad.
Oh, yeah, crypto out of here for now. What do you call it? Again, I just don't think there's enough juice left in here now. Like Ben pointed out before, which I really didn't even notice. If you just kind of look right there, we are looking a little bullish, but I do think we're gonna have to pull back first. And the goal is to just take a quick profit, get it out of there, go from 206. If I go from 80, can get 60% of my premium by Monday, 70% by Tuesday, whatever it is. Great, solid win there. Just looking for another pullback. Volume's really low. And I do think we're tapping out right here. Again, take another pullback, and then we'll see what happens. But I do think 206 is going to be another point of resistance if the market does go up next week. However, I am overall bearish. Now, Starbucks is my next pick, selling the 83. Whole lot of Daesh. Ton of Daesh right there. And it was just
this white space. Show me these bars.
Bouncing off of 83 since April. I mean, it did go above it here.
Zoom in, kid.
What was that?
Yeah, we don't need all that white space.
I can bring it down to here.
Let me see the chart.
Zoom.
I shouldn't have done this. Now that's information that I can digest right there.
No, now you messed it up.
Okay, I regret it.
But right here, look what you did. I don't even know what you did.
Navigate the chart. I'm sorry. This is good.
I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna refresh my screen.
I'm the worst. While you're doing that, I have a fun fact
for you.
It's
almost up. I'm zoomed in.
You gotta hit that little A button in the bottom right corner. Here's a fun fact for people. Thomas trading IWM on PeakBot Picks has been 3 for 3. Made $151 the first time to stay under a strike price of 187. Did it again the next week at the same exact strike, profited $127. Skipped the week after that, but last week you made $72. 3 call credit spreads you're up over 300, almost $400 or $400 just in 3 different trades. That's fun.
Great. IWM has been printing. So I've just, not that I want to keep trading it. No, I think eventually juice is going to run out. Maybe it runs out this week. If you want, pull my screen back up there. We're back. I'm leaving it like this because I think it paints the full picture. It's tapped out at 83 in the past. So I do think that 83, if it does decide to bounce back up, is going to be a point of resistance again. So I'm completely comfortable with that strike price. Again, just maybe taking a look of take some profit, or again, let theta be my friend, let time decay be my friend, and kind of make some of the profit there. And the next pick I made was CVX. This one's really, really nice. Selling to 142. We have bottomed out at around 142 twice in the past. And we just broke right beneath it. And now we're just strictly consolidating. Does see any sort of a run up. That run up is just going to be probably to 142. It's probably just going to tap out there, or maybe even lower where it's bottomed out to like this 140. So really comfortable with 142. Really like the way the charts look on these strike prices. And I'm anticipating another 3 for 3 week as long as all looks good.
Very nice, young Thomas.
Yeah,
all right.
He's doing well.
Good
Yeah.
job.
You want to do it? You want me to?
Well, you guys didn't even give me a chance to go over last week's picks. I was also 3 for 3.
No.
I just didn't earn enough premium to beat Thomas out. I was trading CVS, GLD, and HOOD, and I earned a total of $30 in profit while only risking $200. So I was pretty happy with that. 15% return. I'll take a 15% return every week. But honestly, like I've been saying, I have not been scaling large into these positions because of where we are in this market, and my confidence just isn't there. So I'm gonna play it safe for now. Going into this week, my picks, I've got open orders for my picks here. I'll probably adjust them to get in. Thomas, I also picked CVX this week as well. I liked the setup there, so I'll skip my analysis there. My next pick is PDD. So I sold the 104 put there. When we go to the chart, PDD 104 put is right around here. I like this setup because there was a gap down here, which we filled kind of, but we left another small gap. And even if we do fill this gap right here, it's still not dropping down to 104. So I think there's going to be some support around the 105 level, which makes me feel really comfortable selling the 104. Taking a look at the technical analysis tool over the next week, this is a sell, even though we are bullish on it. So I am kind of going against what the technicals are saying. And when we look at the chart as a whole, and this is why I'm going against it, when we look at the chart as a whole, if we look at the last month, we are in a strong upward trend. So if we're going to reverse that trend and reverse it to the point where we're going to break below the support, that would surprise me. So that's PDD. And then I have ticker GLD. I sold the 299 put. So again, another bullish play. GLD. Bullish play. Here's my strike price. The technical analysis for this one does look a lot better. We've got a strong buy on the week. And then we do see an overall really, really long-term trend up for ticker GLD. So even if I do wind up getting a sign, which maybe I'll let that happen if I finish between strikes, I'm fine holding these shares. There's a great track record of GLD moving up and to the right. So those are my picks this week. I've got manual orders in for them currently, and just waiting for those to fill, or I'll adjust in a little bit and get those to fill.
Awesome. All right. Very well done. Good job on 3 for 3. I got to get back on track here for myself, but let me get my picks up here for everybody, and then we will get out of here. Okay, so here's my Tradier account. We got my 3 trades for this week, as well as some fills from those expiring today. A lot of action. Here's the King Condor profitable, Walmart, and my current position. So this week, I am bullish, not on CVX, but on CVS. Okay. If we take a look at my order here, I earned $10 in premium for a $1.50 spread. So not great, but I do feel very good about it. Again, trying to stay over 64. So if we take a look here, these are the daily bars. We can see that there's been a nice support forming right around this 64.50 price point. Of course, we've dipped under it and then gapped up largely after that. We had earnings come in right about here, which is this big jump up. And then, of course, we've started to come back down to earth a little bit. But as we can see, we have not traded under the $64 price point since the beginning of April. And we can see even further back here as we zoom out. Since it's kind of come up into this channel, we've seen a lot of consolidation right around that $64, $65 price point. So I feel pretty good. We got, over $3 in buffer right now. So that's my CVS position for $10. XOM, okay, so ExxonMobil, I have a $1 call credit spread, okay, that I earned $13 in premium for. I'm trying to stay below 110. Okay, so we can see the trend here. Again, these are, wow, can't believe that happened. Again, these are the daily bars here. This is primarily what I'm looking for. If I find a good setup on the trend spread watch list, I like the strikes, I like the premium, everything else, I'll go take a look at it. As we can see here, we were bullish. We had some chop here for quite a while, okay, kind of between this bottoming out of 104 all the way up to like 123. Since this huge drop off came at the beginning of April, we have not seen life above 110. So again, feel really good about this. When we take a look at the technical analysis for the week, we are more bearish than bullish. So feel good about that position. And then I am bearish on Comcast. So I collected $19 in premium here on my Comcast position. This is a, what do we got? $2.50 or $1.50 spread for basically $20 in premium. My sold call is at 35. So I'm trying to stay under 35 on Comcast. This looks pretty similar to XOM. If we zoom out here, a relative bearish, pretty bearish trend here since the beginning of 2025, even late 2024. Similar to a lot of other underlying. We saw the big drop at the beginning of April, and we have really fought to get back above this $35 strike. We can see on April 9th was quite a wild day. That was the only time we saw a blip above 35, and some real consolidation right here around that 34.50 price point. So trying to stay under 35. In total, I collected what? So we got 19, 29, 39. So $43 in premium for a total of about $450 in exposure. So looking for a 10% ROI on my PeakBot picks, roughly speaking, this week.
Nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right.
Can you say very, very, very nice, you think?
Very, 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 very nice.
Okay.
Whoa, many flattering him.
We didn't talk enough about King Condor, but go to peakbot.com and click on our strategies, and you can see everything there is to know about King Condor. We're also posting this live in our Discord channel, which we're still building, making it look nice, the whole thing. We'll get that to you when it's time, but we want to make sure results are being documented from our own automated trading accounts.
And we're going to talk about King Condor on Monday. Monday starts our series of King Condor, where we will be reviewing all the different parameters that we're using for the King Condor. And we'll be looking at how the strategy would have performed with and without those parameters. And we'll be talking about what exactly those parameters are, i.e. VIX. What is the VIX? What does it mean? How can that impact trading? So make sure you tune in Monday mornings at 8:30 a.m. Eastern for Man and Machine with Mark Phillips, principal of Harvested Financial. We're going to deep dive into our bots.
All right, last thing. I was just looking at the chart for King Condor. Obviously, it's been a bit bearish over the last I mean, I'm looking at the 1 minute bars here, but our sold call is at 635. So we are soon approaching that level. Obviously, we have a lot of room to the upside and a lot of breathing room there, but we are flirting with our no.
Looks like we're flattening it out, though.
Sorry?
But it looks like we're flattening out. God
Yeah.
willing, we'll stay there, but
Yeah. So anyway.
just a little bit of a little run up.
Yeah, we got some room here. Okay, cool. Final reminder at the bottom of the screen, if you want access to free automated trading with PeakBot's exclusive automated strategies, head on over to peakbot.com/Tradier. Okay, this is an exclusive deal we're running with Tradier. You get 6 months of PeakBot Pro, okay, our highest subscription, which is normally $99 a month. You're getting that for free for 6 months. And on top of that, you're getting commission. Yeah, let's kill that banner. Get it out of the way. That's better.
Yeah, right there.
On top of that, yeah, thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, no problem.
On top of that, you're getting commission-free options trading. What does that mean? Well, Tradier with Tradier Pro, typically $10 a month, gives you a commission-free options trading, but we've tied that in to this promotion. So get started either by grabbing that QR code, get your picture out, or get your phone out, take a picture, or head on over peakbot.com/Tradier. All you need is a new Tradier account with $5,000. You're going to need that much to be automating with PeakBot anyway. So I guess we can bring Thomas back just to really.
I'm back. Oh, well, the banner's in my. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Anything we should know about Game 3 for the Knicks? And it's not tonight. It's got to be tomorrow. Right?
Tomorrow. I wish it was tonight.
So Game
I'd be
3
so
in New
Game
York.
3, Knicks in the Garden. If the tickets weren't so expensive, I'd want to go. It's like $1,000 for the worst seat. It's like
Brutal.
Why don't you get one of those courtside seats from the Meta?
Thomas, I think you should run an SPX YOLO trade today for the tickets.
For the ticket.
Throw $100 on SPX in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself here. We got a new bot that'll be launching. We're in testing. It's a new partner that we've signed. We've announced a partnership.
Knicks are going down. That's messed up.
Okay, well, we have a new bot that's making. I don't want to get anybody too excited. $1,000 today on one trade, over $1,000. That would pay for a ticket. That'll get you up somewhere in the rafters. Guys, let's get out of here.
Thomas
Get out of here. Let's get back to work.
Thomas is causing trouble in the chats.
Oh no. Look, I don't think the Knicks are going to win the first game in New York. I do not think they're going to win Game 3. I think it'll be tight. Celtics are pissed right now. They've been embarrassed 2 nights in a row. All right, guys. Well, great show. Thank you again to Wes and Squeeze Finder for coming on and talking about the new Squeeze bot that is launched and active in paid beta version 1.0, if you will. But you can promotion right now. So thank you again for tuning in. We will be live again Monday morning with Mark Phillips from Harvested Financial, who loves and is using the King Condor for his automated client portfolios. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much. And as always, we'll see you at the peak. Take care.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.